As an underwater photographer, there are many scenarios where you will want to change the appearance of your strobe beam. It can be to improve the colors, the texture, help the subject stand out, or just to reduce backscatter. So really, the more options you have, the more creative you can be. Well, one thing I love about my Retra Flash Pro is that it's compatible with every single lighting accessory that Retra has released so far. And that's because they've always kept the same bayonet mount for every strobe that they have released. Let me show you some of the gadgets that I use. Let's start with diffusers. For wide-angle photography, most of the time I have these warm diffusers here, and they're fantastic for blue water. I mean, they're perfect when I get that sort of conditions. But what if I get that sort of water instead? Well, that's no good, because my warm diffusers have made the green water sort of yellowish. I think that yellow-green doesn't look very good, but that's alright, because those diffusers are very easy to take off underwater. And if I want to make my green water more green, more vibrant, I can fit these cold diffusers. As an artist, I prefer my green water to look this way. You can also make your strobe beam tighter when you want to eliminate only some of the elements of the scene or just to reduce backscatter. The most extreme way to do it is by using a snoot, which really cuts down the beam, making it very narrow. And you can make that beam even narrower, even tighter by using some of these reduction masks. This is really good at creating a spotlight effect around a small subject, but you may also use a snoot just to create a black background behind a macro subject. One last thing on snooting with the Retra Flash Pro, I really like that the pilot light is located at the center of the strobe, because that means it's going to shine at the center of the snoot as well, which makes it very practical to help position the snoot precisely where you want the light to fall. Now, for bigger subjects, a snoot might be too small, but Retra has a range of rings which you can stack up to adjust the size of the light beam. Starting with these reduction rings, which will cut down the shape of the light beam just a little bit. If that's not enough, you can add some macro rings. You push them in, and you've got a tighter beam. And if again that's not enough, you've got the super macro rings here. Again, you push them in, and that cuts the light beam even more. You can use that sort of rings to create a spotlight effect on a wide-angle scene. But my favorite use is for inward lighting, when I want the light to reach only the foreground and not illuminate the distracting background. This is what I did here, and that sea dragon, being about 30 cm, about 1 foot long, is definitely too big for this to work with a snoot. Finally, Retra has reflectors, which you push into the reduction rings, similar to the macro rings, but their purpose is very different. They concentrate the strobe light, meaning they make the light beam tighter, but they also make it brighter. This is great for portraits of shy subjects like these boxfish, which are always on the move. You're shooting them from a distance with a long macro lens, but you're also closing down the aperture because you want to make sure they're sharp. All this is challenging for the strobes because you need to throw sufficient light at a distance. Well, the Retra Flash Pro is already quite powerful from starters, but these reflectors make it 2 times brighter. Now the best part is, you can win a Retra Flash Pro X by entering our free online giveaway. Visit theunderwaterclub.com to see the terms and conditions and to get your free tickets.